Well, good day, folks. NBWildman here again. Just a quick follow-up video to one that I had done before about making those Marten boxes for raccoon or mink or fish or whatever you like. I've had several people comment or ask if I could show them what the setup actually looks like once I've got the box built and done. And I mean, it's pretty much dependent on whatever you want to do. A lot about the species that you're trying to target. I wanted to keep them up off the ground so I could kind of avoid the raccoons, but I was going for the fisher and the cat mostly. So I'm going to walk you through just a couple of sets here that I've got just out in back, and we'll just show you kind of what they look like for what I'm targeting. I find that you still catch raccoons with them off the ground, don't get me wrong, because I mean raccoons are climbers too, so you'll get them, but I find you'll catch a lot more fisher in these boxes if you use the right size trap and the right setup. So I'm right here by a little brook, a little creek, and there's a farmer's field just through the woods right there. You can see it. He's got he pastures a couple hundred head of dairy cows. So this is a pretty good little location. We're plenty far from houses, but we're right along the edge of a brook and some pasture ground, so that's good. So this just a blowdown that's been down for a couple of years now, and all I did was bring my box out, and I'm up here about, well, I'm about 6 feet tall. So this is probably 5.5, pretty close to 6 feet off the ground. The way that this is set, I'll try to give you a better look at it here. So just basically a nice big blowdown that's been laying here, and the animals are all used to it. And so I brought the box up, and all I did was nail it with a nail right here, just a regular 3.5 inch common spike or nail, and I nailed it down to the tree because I leave these boxes in. I mean, most of where I trap is private ground, and I've got permission, so these boxes are pretty resilient. And more or less, if you want to watch the other videos that I've done on how to build these boxes, the reason for the long slot is because these will house anything from a 110 all the way out to a 220. So depending on what you want to target and what's allowed for you to trap and the size traps that you're allowed to use for various species, this will allow you to use this box for anything as small as a weasel, if that's allowed in your area. Now here in New Brunswick, we have to have our weasel boxes completely enclosed with just a small hole in the front, but certainly this would do for a marten or a fisher, bobcat, raccoon, if that's what you're going to target. And again, they get smaller in size as you go into the back, and all I do is just stuff the bait as far back into there. If you can see that or not, it's quite a ways back. And on the back of these there's a screen. Now this one here I've got brushed up just to give it some camouflage, but on the back of these boxes, if you want to watch my other video on how to build these, there's a mesh screen which allows for scent, and it allows for things to be able to approach this from the back, see the bait, smell the bait, maybe even get a little tiny taste of it, but they can't get it, so they're going to have to make their way through the front. I like a 160 in these. It's ideal. A 160 sits about halfway back those slots, and 160 is big enough for just about everything you're going to catch in these boxes. 2 springs, plenty of hitting power, and it also nestles it. They're in the box, and you usually find them just hanging just about like this. I snapped this one with a stick because I need to rebait it, but I don't usually snap them with a stick. We had some freezing rain here. They was iced up a bit, and I didn't want to just grab it. So this is a 160 here that I use. So they're easy to check because you just kind of look in, and if your trap's hanging, you usually either have to reset it or you got something, and if not, then you're good to go. I'm going to walk you through just one more set that I have, another set that's actually along this same brook, but I'll be back with you just in a minute. NBWildman out. Okay, NBWildman back here with you again, and I'm just going to run you by another one of those box sets that I have up. And just on the edge of the road here, you can see nice big culvert comes through here. Put a little bit of water down there. You can't tell now, it's iced over, but lots of mink travel through here, fisher, lots of raccoon, etc. So I got to walk you around here a little bit. This is the same type of setup, except instead of on a pole, I've got this one on a real big hollow log that extends out into the brook. Makes it perfect because you really can't approach it much from the front. You got to kind of go through the back, and as you can see here, the back of the back of the trap has the wire mesh. So lots of critters will come on this log, be able to smell the bait but not get to it, and then they're going to have to go around or over. Lots of them go over the box, and then come in from the front or the side. So it's a pretty simple setup. This one doesn't have much out in front as far as ways for animals to get up on it. Again, just on the edge of a little creek here. So in the right season, this box is good for several different species. But as the season changes, you got to make sure that you have the right size trap and the right type of bait for what's actually legal to catch during that area. As always, make sure you check with your own game laws and trapping laws to make sure that what you're setting out is legal and the most humane for catching the critter you're looking for. This little creek is paid off in spades. That culvert's given me mink, muskrat, otter, all kinds. This particular box right here is full all the time, it seems. Anyway, just another way that these boxes can be used. If you haven't watched my video on how to make these boxes, it's available on the NBWildman channel. Just go ahead and give that a look. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications so that you can get new messages when I upload new videos, and smash that like button. Feel free to leave us a comment, and we'll get back to you as soon as we possibly can. So just another day out here on the line. Thanks for watching, and NBWildman out.